Horror Lies.
Welcome back to BodyBags. This is week number 416. This is a random review. I'll be your host, Jason from Horrific Nightmares. And continuing on our Hemisphere's Box of Horror, we're going to be talking about The Blood Drinkers. The Blood Drinkers is a 1964 film which runs approximately 88 minutes and is directed by Geraldo de Leon. He passed away on July 25th, 1981 at the age of 67. He was responsible for Women in Cages, Brownout, and Brides of Blood. Now this stars Ronald Remy as Dr. Marco. He was in Ophelia at Paul, The Bandits, and The Infiltrators. It's a tough word. Amalia Fuentes as Charito. She passed away on October 5th, 2019 at the age of 79. She was in Mortal Sin, Indecent Exposure, and Dirty Games. And Eddie Fernandez as Victor de la Cruz. He was in Presidential Pardon, Battle of Champions, and Masquerade. Now, this movie actually has some historical significance. This movie was made in the Philippines, and it was actually the first horror movie made in the Philippines in color. And boy, did they take advantage of that color. Now, I am not... this was the one that was a little bit of a miss for me. The story was okay, but I found that because they used color, it was almost distracting, and I'll explain what I mean by that. They used different filters on the lenses in order to kind of recreate a mood. Now, as you see here on the front cover, this is a red filter, and this is actually how it looked in the film. They used a blue filter for when there wasn't danger around. They shot in regular color, and they shot one or two scenes in a pink filter. So, to me, it was kind of distracting. But I get it. I mean, they were shooting in color. It was their very first film made in full color. And, yeah, you can even see it in the back of here. The blue filters and the red filters here. But the synopsis is like this. I mean, it was an interesting story, I thought. You have Dr. Marco, who is taking in a patient named Carita or Katrina. Can't remember her name. But he falls in love with her, and he decides that she needs a heart. Well, her mother, who actually knows that the doctor is a vampire at this point, because the doctor is a vampire, and his colleagues are all vampires as well, since he falls in love with this woman, she reveals that she has another daughter that she abandoned at birth. The other daughter just happens to live in the adjacent town, and her name is Chorito. So they want to capture Chorito in order to transplant her heart into Katrina. Because, like I said, he's in love with her. That's basically the story in a nutshell. The acting was cheesy and over the top, but that's fine. I mean, it didn't really bother me because Hemispheres was trying to be like Hammer, and most of the time did not succeed. Now, I'm not the biggest vampire film fan. I like what I like, but it has to be something that really speaks to me in order for me to really enjoy it. And while I thought the story was interesting, the color filters that they shot in was really just way too distracting for me, in my opinion. So this one was a little bit of a miss. I didn't think it was that bad, but I still thought it was a little bit of a miss. But definitely this is the first one that I've seen out of this box that has been a miss. So definitely check out Hemispheres. They, like I said, this one was made in the Philippines, and of course, it was made super cheap because, everybody's heard the stories about how they make movies overseas and how crazy things were. But they are fun watches. Even this one was a fun watch. It just was my least favorite out of the box so far. So stay tuned for next week when I will tackle Curse of the Vampires. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.